Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the things that I've been dealing with in my life and some of the things that have been on my mind, and basically just share my experiences of the things that I'm navigating through as I live them, and so that I can document my journey and also try to figure out what I'm doing by thinking out loud. So, today has been an interesting day. Quite tough to be honest, but yeah, I mean, I mentioned in my previous video that something that I've been waiting for a long time has been to be able to, know that I'm gonna have an interview loop for the role that I've been trying to transition into for a while now. And yeah, today has been quite tough for me, and but also filled with realizations. So one thing that I've been thinking about a lot is trying to throw back to my student days, so to the times when I was a student, and trying to basically get back in that mindset so that I can study again for my interviews in the way that made me fall in love with the role that I'm trying to transition into. Please bear with me today. It's almost 3 a.m. and haven't yet gone to sleep, and I'm pretty tired after a long day. But yeah, anyway, just to like share some of the thoughts that I've been having, is that I remember when I was a student, I basically I had a different life than the one that very different life or approach to life than the one that I have right now. So basically back then, everything in my life was geared towards doing my best in school, and basically trying, my best to uh, basically get the best grades possible in all of my classes, and basically committing to making sure that uh, my grades are up, and just making sure that uh, I'm doing well in all of my classes. And that was the main focus for my uh, university years. And the thing, I guess, and since then, I mean, since I started working, I had made this pact with myself that I wouldn't let my work get to that point where I would try to find the right work-life balance by not committing all of my uh, hours of the day to my work, and basically day and nights and weekends, because that was what I was doing as a student. But yeah, and that brings me to the fact that back when I was a student, I felt that I was really inefficient about how I went about to, work on a project or basically study for an exam or something like that. And I always thought that was a bad thing until now, where I actually realized the value of basically dedicating so much time to do one thing. Because basically, I guess the critique would be that I was not efficient in all of the hours that I committed, or basically, uh, you know, tried to do some university work. But actually, that allowed for me to basically uh, bathe into whichever topic that I was trying to dive deep into, even though for the first few hours, or very a huge proportion of the hours that I would spend on the project would not be active work hours, but mostly me trying to have that information sink into my mind. And basically I would just, like, for example, especially for my classes that were very mathematical and basically maths focused, I would just literally rewrite my classes so that I could understand every single detail of uh, the notions that I was learning. And that's what allowed me to have such good grades, is that instead of jumping right to the problem sets, I would really take the time to make sure that I understood every single facet of a mathematical uh, basically notion or concept. And I guess that was my strength back then. So right now I'm trying to do that, and I'm, you know, starting to restudy some of the classes that I took when I was in Georgia Tech that are related to my role transition right now, and just trying to get back into that mindset. And basically, I think what happened to me over the past couple of years, first things, is that my current job is not really my passion, and I don't really have an innate drive to work on it. And that, I guess, that has impacted a lot how driven I am in making sure that my work is done and it is done in the best quality. I've mostly been, you know, I don't know, I've been, uh, I guess, surviving, or basically doing things just because I have to, and not necessarily because I really enjoy them. And that that has been really tough for me, because uh, I feel like, I mean, every time that I performed really at my best, it was not because I had to do something, but because I was innately driven by the thing that I was trying to do, or like basically the action of doing it was really energizing to me. And that's, I guess, the main reason behind me trying to do a role change and all that stuff. So, right now that I have the opportunity to do that role change, I really don't want to mess this up, and I really want to set myself up for success. And but the hard thing is that there were, like, back in when I was a student, there were some bad consequences of basically dedicating or trying to dedicate every single waking moment of my life to school. Uh, First of all, is that I I was extremely stressed, extremely anxious, and since then I have gained basically tried to install new mechanisms for me to deal with my anxiety and my stress, but I've never really tested them in a situation where I really am driven about something and I really want to make it happen without, you know, resorting to my default, which is to default to anxiety and stress to get something done. I want to do it from a place of love uh, for the thing that I want to do, or basically energy rather than fear. And I'm curious to see how this will turn out. To be honest, I don't want to basically put too much pressure on myself, but also this is really important to me. And so I really want to make sure that whatever happens with this interview loop, I would have given it my best shot. And regardless of the outcome, I just want to be proud of, or basically I just want to know that in my heart I gave it everything that I had, uh, instead of basically regretting after the fact. Like if I don't give it my all, I will definitely, you know, regret it and feel bad about it for a really long time. So I really want to do everything that's in my power to put the best odds, I guess, in my favor. And that requires, I guess, like for me to find a middle ground between this new approach to life that I've been having since I started working as a full-time engineer, and basically balance that out with all of the drive that I used to have that basically allowed me to get here. And yeah, I really want to try and find a new balance for myself because I do feel like I have uh, basically I have overcompensated for uh, in the work-life balance uh, uh, spectrum for the life one, even though sometimes it doesn't seem that way. But I really do want to find a new middle ground where I can combine uh, all of the energy and basically uh, the abilities that have allowed me to perform at a high level back then, and basically balance that out with the healthy uh, boundaries or healthy habits that I'm trying to build now. Obviously, now it's 3 a.m., so you can clearly see that I'm leaning back again in that direction, or at least trying to. But I guess you only know the line when you cross it. So right now, I'm just gonna, you know, be okay with not having the perfect balance and use this as a way to learn more about myself and about how I can basically perform at my best and push myself to the level that I want to be performing at, and basically figure out when too much is too much, and then allow myself room for error to autocorrect as life goes on. So I guess it's a bit of an oscillating pendulum between, you know, being too focused uh, on work, or basically pushing all my energy and like all of my waking hours into this. And I guess the part that I've been in, the other part of the pendulum, which is really prioritizing the work-life balance and really trying to have healthy habits that don't have, you know, like just basically have a life outside of my work. And this really has been hard because I mean I don't know what it feels like to basically have, like, I haven't known for a long time to, like, at least since university I haven't felt like I really am driven by the work that I do. And so yeah, I guess I'm curious to see how this will turn out and how I'll be able to balance the two. I will for sure make mistakes. I don't doubt that for a second. I will 100% over-index on one, and then to reverse that, over-index on the other one, and then it's never ending pendulum, but hopefully it will start to stabilize right around the middle by the different mistakes and different pushes that I would make throughout this journey. So yeah, I guess one one thing that I realized is that the fact that I spent so much time back then, even though it was considered as inefficient time by the standards of basically uh, having outputs out of the time that I put in, and basically not considering the fact that the work that my unconscious mind does, like basically, whenever I say that I was being inefficient, actually, it only takes into account what my conscious mind does. And I used to feel bad about it, but now I do realize that my unconscious mind was also doing a lot of the work, and basically I was giving the opportunity for my unconscious mind to basically to do some of the work, which right now I'm not doing because I've been focusing too much on being efficient and basically having optimal work schedules, and basically that would leave me with a very small window for to do things, and then whenever I miss that window, I just like basically the rest of the day would be a bit up in the air, because I don't know if, if that's the right expression, but uh, like uh, like I guess the rest of the day would be doomed because I would have missed my perfect window. But the truth is, life is not as black and white, and we don't have to be efficient 100% of the time. We just have to be effective uh, in accomplishing whatever we set out to do. And yeah, I really just want to get back to that place where I really am driven. And one thing that has helped me a lot, I mean, even back then, my favorite band in my whole life is Imagine Dragons. And basically, earlier I started playing their songs again. I haven't I've been saving them for moments like this over the past 2 years, like especially the latest albums, like Mercury Part 1 and 2, uh, for exactly this moment, so that I can use them, because I do feel like they helped me a lot when I was a student to keep pushing through. And I guess Imagine like these songs only help me persevere when I really am driven about something. So they just help me to keep going and basically help me put in the hours. And I guess that's exactly what I need. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this is gonna turn out. And uh, I really want to put all my best into this. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it from my side for today. Just struggling with a lot of things, because basically all of this pressure, I mean, external pressure, I'm trying not to think about the external part, but only think about the internal part, to not think about all of the people that have been pushing for me for this, because I don't want to do it for other people. I don't want to do it for external reasons. I really want to do it for intrinsic reasons. And when I really am connected to the intrinsic reasons, that's when my drive is at the highest. So, really trying to basically, uh, you know, make sure that this happens and really try my best at this. So anyway, we will see how this turns out, and I'm gonna sign off because you can tell from my voice that I have literally no energy left. Um, I'm just gonna go to sleep now. I have a meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I need to wake up to be able to attend that meeting. And I have a full day of work, and then probably I will be also working late into the night tomorrow evening. Yeah, but also like I had today like this realization that like basically I do have this pendulum, like all of these emotions have been so hard that my default behavior of procrastination has kicked in, and basically trying to escape these feelings. And yeah, I did watch a few basically series just to get a breath of air and basically let my mind disconnect for a bit, because I do feel like the pressure is too much sometimes, and me knowing that the pressure is high does not help. So I'm trying to find better coping mechanisms, but I'm just gonna take it one day at a time and be compassionate with myself, be kind to myself, know that I am doing my best, and basically try to reconnect with my truest self, which really does love the kind of work that uh, I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks to prepare for the interviews. So, yeah, I guess that's the only thing that I need to keep in mind. Uh, and the only thing that I need to find ways to keep going back to in an authentic way that resonates with me and that helps me push forward. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Uh, and yeah, uh, you can click here to watch my latest video, and hopefully I'll share another update very soon on how things are going. All right, thank you. Bye bye.